This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
We thought he would have survived, and he did not.
A Pendleton woman who lost her husband to COVID-19 is sharing her story, what she wants you to know and do right now.
These nurses, their license was suspended for a reason, but they've served their time and they should be able to go back to work.
Nurses who had been suspended can't get reinstated even though they've served their punishment, and it's all because of COVID-19, the virus they would help to fight. COVID-19 has devastated the economy, but tonight we're showing you another company that is hiring. Would it be a good fit for you? And who else is hiring? Hoosiers having trouble with their stimulus checks. Call 6 Investigates looks into one man's problem, and we dig into why some are having issues. Good evening to you here at 6 o'clock. Thanks for being here. I'm Mark Mullins. Amanda has the evening off. First tonight, this is what a lot of the day looked like here in central Indiana. Rain with very gloomy skies and cool temperatures. And check this out. We may be in the middle of April, but northern Indiana got snow today instead of rain. The Indiana State Police Bremen office tweeted this out, not far from South Bend. It's a beautiful scene, but it doesn't quite seem right for April. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory at his home weather center as we continue to social distance ourselves. Kevin, we've had some cooler than normal temperatures. Are there any changes on the way for the weekend?
Brighter day for the weekend tomorrow. We'll get to that in a second. I was covering my eyes. If you're ready to move on from snow, we'll be able to do that. Low clouds, a cold northwest wind, and a temperature at just 45 degrees right now. The sun sets at 8:26. We're not going to see much of that. With snow no longer in the forecast, I thought I'd give my shovel to heave-ho. And I don't intend to pick it up again, hopefully until December. There's the snow over Lake Erie, northern portions of Ohio. You come back to the Hoosier state, we've got a few sprinkles and drizzle. All that will be slow to leave, but it is leaving, setting the stage then for skies to clear later tonight. Their western half of the state by 11 o'clock starting to clear. We've got our freeze warning one more time in the forecast, 28 to about 32 degrees first thing in the morning. Talk about our warm up, sunshine, and a dry stretch all ahead.
Looking forward to it, Kevin. Thank you. There are now more than 500 COVID-19 deaths in Indiana and more than 10,000 positive coronavirus cases. The Indiana State Department of Health says there are 42 newly reported COVID-19 deaths. That brings the statewide total to 519. There are now 10,154 coronavirus cases, including the 642 cases confirmed today, and 54,785 people in Indiana have been tested for COVID-19. And tonight we're learning that Indiana's stay-at-home order will stay in effect until at least May 1st. The latest stay-at-home order was supposed to expire Monday, April 20th. Well, this means you're asked to stay home until May 1st unless you need to make a trip to the grocery store, get takeout, get medicine, go outside by yourself, take care of a loved one, or if you're considered an essential employee. A Pendleton woman wants you to stay home after losing her husband this month to COVID-19. Lou Berry, who you see here, was only 37 years old, and tonight his wife wants you to know that this disease isn't impacting only the sick and elderly. RTV6's Kara Kenny joins us with the message she desperately wants you to hear.
Lou Berry came to the hospital with a fever and a cough. After less than a week in the hospital, Berry died at the age of 37 here at IU Health North on April 6th.
Lou and Brianna Berry tied the knot on November 2nd, 2018. So many dreams, so many hopes, now gone because of COVID-19. They both had asthma and took a lot of precautions amid COVID-19, but Brianna says Lou got sick anyway and developed a cough. Brianna says her husband was overweight and had asthma, but was otherwise healthy. She wants others to know this impacts young people, and Brianna believes it's way too soon to talk about lifting the state's stay-at-home order.
And I think that would be a grave decision. I think that if that happens, a lot of people are going to die. And I am terrified for my own family. I want people to stay home. I want people to get their heads out of the sand and realize this is so much more serious than people want to believe. You know, you still see people having parties at their houses with all these cars. And I'm sorry, social distancing isn't enough.
Brianna isn't sure where her husband got COVID-19, but says she's been self-isolating as a precaution. She believes she also had COVID-19, but could not get tested because her symptoms were too mild.
IU Health released a statement saying their hearts go out to the families and loved ones of anyone impacted by this terrible disease. Reporting in Carmel, Kara Kenny, RTV6.
The coronavirus continues to be a serious problem in Indiana, but there is some good news in the COVID-19 fight. The IU Health Indianapolis suburban region celebrated a milestone Thursday, 24 hours without a single COVID-19 death. On top of that, IU Health West Hospital announced that 10 COVID-19 patients have recovered and were released on Thursday. That's the highest single-day total since the pandemic began back in March here. Nurses who are on probation are forced to stay on suspension longer than expected because of COVID-19, the virus that they could be fighting if they were working. RTV6 found dozens of nurses are waiting for the board to reinstate their licenses, but they're not meeting right now. Our Stephanie Wade finds out if anything can be done to get those nurses back to work.
And I've received several calls in my office saying, my license is on suspension and I'd really like to go back to work. I'd like to help during this time.
Lori Brown is both a nurse and attorney. She's fighting for nurses who are currently suspended or on probation to return and aid in the fight against this pandemic.
There are nurses right now who are ready, willing, and able to work. Their suspension time where they're eligible to petition the board to lift it is over, but they're not, since the board isn't meeting in person, they're not meeting to determine if these nurses' license can be lifted.
We spoke with one such nurse who was struggling with an alcohol addiction, substance abuse being the most common cause for suspension. She prefers we don't identify her.
I'm coming up on 2 years sober. I've not had a drink in almost 2 years. And so I've put in the work on myself that I need to, and now I'm just ready to get back.
Hearings like hers have been pushed back because of COVID-19. She says she's a part of a support group and knows of at least 30 other nurses in the same situation.
And I apologize if I get emotional, but that's exactly how I feel. It's my passion to help people, and right now I see the need.
Hearing stories of the challenges her fellow nurses on the front lines are facing right now.
Where I validate these nurses' emotions, it's one of those things like I would give anything to be struggling with that right now.
The professional licensing agency tells RTV6 the Indiana State Board of Nursing is meeting via video conferencing, but their meeting agendas are limited compared to a routine meeting because of Governor Holcomb's executive order requesting all public meetings be limited to essential matters for the time being. We called into the governor's press conference today, but were unable to ask if he would consider amending that executive order to prioritize reinstating eligible nurses just wanting to help. Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
If you are a nurse in this situation, reach out to us at workingforyou@rtv6.com. We can put you in touch with resources, and we'll let you know if there are any updates to this story.
Our needs have continued. The mental health needs, we have 1,400 employees. We have not laid off one employee, and we are still hiring at quite a pace.
Through the pandemic and every day here at RTV6, we are helping connect you to jobs through our Hiring Hoosiers initiative. Now, tonight, the state's largest community mental health center needs to fill about 100 positions. RTV6's Nicole Griffin reports some of these jobs are a good fit for college seniors who are preparing to graduate.
It just feels good to do it every day.
It takes a passionate person to want to help others.
Every single person that works here just loves serving and caring for people.
That is the mission at the Bowen Center, the state's largest community mental health center that serves 27 counties. Dr. Sequilla Libetro is the center's clinical director, but she also does therapy and psychological testing for all ages. She shared what she's seeing right now during the pandemic.
There's certainly a lot of anxiety. There's depression for some folks that maybe have an existing trauma history.
The Bowen Center provides services to help with your emotional well-being. Right now, it's all remote. Everything from therapy to medication management or just everyday life skills.
We do whatever we need to do to help you function better, to help you feel better.
The Bowen Center is hiring for about 100 positions, including skills coaches. These are employees with bachelor's degrees that are out in the community working with children and adults.
That can be anywhere from helping somebody figure out a budget, which right now a lot of people are out of work and being financially impacted.
Applying for Bowen Center and getting a job is easy right now. Applicants never even have to leave their home. They can complete the entire process virtually.
I have a lot of people who've reached out to me and say, I've never had issues with depression, anxiety, this type of stress that I'm experiencing right now. And that's what we're here for, is to help people navigate through those feelings.
The center has 10 physical locations, but offers remote services in 27 different counties. They are also looking to hire nurses, therapists, and IT technicians. Working for you, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Right now, the Bowen Center says being able to provide remote services allows them to serve even more patients because it takes out the barrier of transportation or lack of time. They say the skills coach positions are a good fit for graduating seniors looking to start their careers. Right now on hiringhoosiers.com, we have a live job board available for you. Companies post their job openings on that board every day, complete with a link to the application process. There are dozens of open positions that you can take advantage of. Just go to hiringhoosiers.com and you'll see the job board. Call 6 Investigates is looking into problems Hoosiers are having with their stimulus checks, including checks appearing to go into the wrong bank accounts. Jeff Hughes of Richmond contacted Call 6 after he went to the IRS website to check on the status of his refund. He did not recognize the last 4 digits of the account. Well, the IRS has said if a check goes to a closed account, the bank will reject it and you'll get a paper check in the mail. But Jeff was worried someone out there has his money.
But I know the account number is not an old account of mine. So, I've tried to reach out to the IRS, got nowhere. Tried to contact Greg Pence. And of course, I've not heard a thing from his office. So, I also reached out to you, and hopefully we can figure something out.
Thankfully, we just heard from Jeff, and he says the money finally showed up in the right account. We reached out to the national and local IRS, and we are still waiting to hear back as to why this is happening and what you should do. Indy Parks is putting in new restrictions to combat the overcrowding at city parks and to help slow the spread of COVID-19. According to Indy Parks, between 3,000 and 5,000 people visited Eagle Creek Park last weekend. In response to the overwhelming traffic, Eagle Creek Park will begin restricting vehicle access to decrease crowds and excessive traffic through the park. Indy Parks has also decided to close all 4 of their dog parks until further notice. All of these changes will go into effect starting tomorrow. Many restaurants are weathering this COVID-19 pandemic and staying open to serve you carry-out or deliver you some delicious food. How one longtime family establishment is using their kitchens to give back during this health emergency.
And I'm Dave First. Race fans, particularly the Brickyard 400, they know their name. Now, how Big Machine Vodka has changed their game. All a part of the global pandemic. That story coming up in our Sports Extra Spotlight.
I thought I'd unveil the warmest temperature in my 7-day forecast when this will happen when we come back.
As part of the We're Open Indy series that we provide, we've shown you how so many area restaurants have made changes to keep business going even with empty dining rooms. One longtime family establishment is also using their kitchens to help give back in this time of need. RTV6's Brad Brown shows us how.
For decades, Sam's restaurants have been serving up great meals in neighborhoods all over the Indy area. But now, these restaurants have become much more.
We wanted people to pick up food and stay home for a week, recognizing that we were part of flattening this curve.
Along with carryout, Sam's has converted several locations into a marketplace setting, offering groceries and household supplies that can be picked up right along with some of the restaurant's menu favorites.
It was kind of like, what is this kind of thing at first, but once we the necessities, I mean, just the absolute, essentials, but for a lot of people it was toilet paper and eggs and milk and ground beef, kind of thing, which we, buy every day here.
And now the Sam family and its employees are helping give back to the community. In many of the kitchens, they are putting together lunches and dinners that have been donated to local medical workers.
I've taken phone calls of thank you, but I've also heard sighs of relief on in their voice on those phone calls. Just Thank you. A hot meal, not out of a vending machine, is well appreciated. And then I try to make them aware who donated it to them, so they can reach out to them too and thank them.
Just to be able to give them a quality meal, individual meal delivered any time of day to all the emergency units, and has been a good part of what we're doing as well.
And downtown at Sam's massive catering kitchen, a large staff is putting together thousands of meals for second helpings, an assembly line to help Hoosiers take care of one another. It's a partnership that will help feed thousands of families.
Really, it comes down to the facility itself. How much can it do? And our facility could do thousands of meals a day, which we were already doing at One America, so it could do 1,000 meal deals. So we switched right into doing probably anywhere between 6,000 and 8,000 meals a day. We could take our catering vans and our catering employees and deliver these foods, 100 here, 200 there, 500 there kind of thing.
Neighbors helping neighbors, one meal at a time.
We appreciate the support, and we're going to continue to be here through this endeavor.
Working for you, Brad Brown, RTV6. And thank you, Brad. From my house to your house, hope you're ready for some sunshine during the day tomorrow. That will lift our spirits and the temperature. One more cold night, and then no frost or freeze conditions within the 7-day planner. It's already in the 30s, Crawfordsville and Lafayette, 37 in Peru. The colder air will continue to slide in, and I think the temperatures will drop a little more quickly once the skies begin to clear, and that will start to take place here as we go through the evening hours. The showers pushing to eastern Indiana along I-74, Greensburg to Cincinnati, and then say Newcastle to Richmond. That should be about it for the evening. The showers leave, skies gradually clear, temperatures everywhere in the 30s by 10 o'clock tonight. Okay. Temperature 32 first thing in the morning. The wind will go fairly light, and during the day tomorrow won't be any stronger than 10 to 15 miles per hour, and out of the southwest. There's your sunshine. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 55 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Temperatures 57 in Columbus. Even the cool spot, if you want to call it that, is 54 in Muncie. That's still a full 10 degrees below average, but everything is relative, right? Compared to where we've been, that will feel like a heat wave. Temperatures on Sunday held back a little bit because of cloud cover, but still warming nicely. The showers look to arrive a little bit earlier, at least with this model run. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, lots of clouds. 4 o'clock, there are the showers from I-70 north. They're still with us 7 to 11 o'clock. Not expecting heavy rainfall. Should be fairly light rain. Temperatures over the next 7 days, as you look at this, do warm up. Tuesday, well, let me back up and just say this. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days in a row that should be dry. That's a welcome trend. 64 on Wednesday. As temperatures come back up even more, Thursday and Friday, our rain chances will climb. Even some spring-like thunderstorms with a 71-degree temperature. That, a week from today, 71. Yes.
It's coming. Thank you, Kevin, for that. Hey, a number of businesses have changed their model over the last few weeks, and that includes a Tennessee company known in racing. First wanting to help the front line, now making a product available to anyone. A true helping hand. Sports director Dave First with the Sports Extra Spotlight.
You likely know the name. Chances are you definitely know their music label. And you know their passion since the age of 10. Scott and Mark Borchetta are the two behind Big Machine Vodka. Their sponsorship of the Brickyard 400. Whether it's Big Machine Records or Big Machine Vodka, in a Zoom call from Nashville, they're now adding something else during this pandemic.
How quickly did you want to pivot and say, hey, let's help some folks out?
My brother, it was before anybody was really doing anything, and he says, hey, Mark, should we make hand sanitizer? Literally the next day I called him up and I'm like, dude, we got to do this. This is going to be a need.
Within 6 days, Mark was out on the street handing first responders some 100 cases of hand sanitizer.
This is going to be a need months from now, isn't it?
We are now ordering by the 100,000.
Wow.
It's crazy. I can't tell you, we sold 7,000 bottles yesterday.
Production is coming from the same plants as their distillery, an easy modification producing sanitizer which meets the 80% alcohol CDC mandate.
What we did is we made sure we didn't do a gel type thing. This is a product that's much more liquid, so it evaporates more quickly.
Requests are coming in so quickly, the company is actually hiring to fulfill the demand. From small bottles to spray bottles, pints and gallon jugs, and orders on BigMachineVodka.com are coming in from around the world during this world pandemic.
I think what people need to do is keep listening and tuning in. And, nobody was prepared for this.
They've known racing for a while, partnering with drivers like Tony Kanaan, Santino Ferrucci, and Kyle Busch, now doing so much more.
You never would have dreamed that you'd be doing something like this.
We are so, of course, devastated to see what's going on out there, but at the same time, we're just so grateful. My brother and I talk every day and go, how fortunate are we to be in a position to help?
Help may be from where you least expect it, for as long as it takes. Dave First, RTV6 Sports. Hey, we continue to prop up the outgoing spring sport athletes whose season abruptly ended, and an RTV6 senior salute tonight to Center Grove Baseball, specifically Bryce Evelyn and Grant Herron. Bryce was first team All-State a year ago, the MIC Player of the Year, named All-County the last 3 years. He'll play at Alabama next season. Grant can throw it with the best of them. This righty was last year's County Player of the Year, as well as being named All-County and All-Conference. He's headed to play baseball at Bradley. Good luck to both. If you'd like to spotlight a senior spring sport athlete, email me at dave.first@WRTV.com.
Keller and Keller, right now.
After a very cold start to your weekend, look what happens. 56 with lots of sunshine Saturday, close to 60, but a chance of showers on Sunday. Mark?
All right, Kevin, thank you, and thank you for joining us. We're back with you tonight at 7 o'clock. World News is next.